right, guys, it's the Viking. Welcome to the Modern Warrior Podcast. I got Carter with me.
Yeah.
What's going on,
What's up,
buddy?
my man?
Dude, nothing.
How you doing, bro? It's kind of dark in here.
Yeah, we
It's
got
a different setup.
a new little look, a new little vibe,
Yeah, I like it.
but it's cool. Guess what we're getting after this?
A house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even tell you about it yet, but I have a.
Eddie didn't know about it, bro. I told him this morning.
Eddie
I didn't know where you were going with it.
You don't know about it?
No knows.
Dude, so we'll have a house. We've got like different spaces for like work stuff, whatever. Then we'll have like one segmented podcast room that's going to look friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
Kind of like the idea of like a couch. You know, you're like sitting down,
Totally.
a little more relaxed.
Dude, we're going to have a couch.
Talking to someone.
We're going to have cigars.
Yeah.
Why is there cigars?
A pool.
Got a pool.
We'll put a pool out there.
Dude, we're going to have all kinds of
That'd
stuff.
be great.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's talk about the 919. Let's dive into it, what it is, why you made it, stuff like that. Got some questions to ask you.
Cool.
So we'll really pick your brain, the creator of the 919. What would you call it? Challenge?
919 challenge.
The 919 challenge.
Yep.
100%.
It is definitely a challenge.
I mean, first, I think it's fitting to start with what is it? So
Okay.
what does 919 mean? What is that?
Yep. So, I actually want to say, because it sounds like how we're saying it, that I made it, but we definitely did make it together.
We did. We created it.
We created it together. It was so we knew. I'll give a little bit of background to it. Like, our whole goal at Modern Warrior is to be the mental performance company. So I like the analogy of that. Like years ago, it was weird to think about taking creatine to increase your physical performance, right? People are like scared and a little like iffy about it. Now it's like, oh, it's super healthy. It's good to
stock
take.
standard, yeah.
Yep, it's standard. There are a lot of things out there to help improve your mental performance. So I like to think of like, same thing with like physical health. There's like your base standard stuff. Then there's the things that you do to go above and beyond to like perform. Same thing with your mental well-being. We're in like a crisis of mental health. And so what are the things we can do to not only be like healthy, but like go above and beyond and be more?
Yeah, the notch dialed up a little bit more. to turn it up a
100%.
little bit.
So we were working on that because we had created our own like nootropic product that has taken off. It's hit really well. People love it. And we wanted to create a program that people could use with it. So like, hey, I'm taking this thing to improve my life and get better. Well, what are the actions, the actual things I do on a day-to-day basis to get better? So then I know I just went down the road of like, well, I'm not going to come up with these answers. So I'm just going to look in all of the research, scientific literature, so psychiatric information, clinical information, what are psychologists talking about. And so we split it into three major categories. So like if you want to, let's even start with this. Even if you just wanted to be mentally healthy, right? Like there's a lot of stress in the world, and to deal with like that everyday stress, that people now have an insane amount of anxiety, depression, ADHD, just all kinds of stuff. It seems like what we can do is put things into three buckets. You have to be physically healthy. So this is like your exercise, the sunshine, what you're eating, your sleep, your like what is physically happening to your body, right? That's all in one bucket. Like if you're sitting in a dark room all day by yourself, never exercising, never getting outside, you just eat like fast food, that is actually going to make you depressed.
Right.
Like there's very clear research that is very bad for you. So then the middle one is your relationships. So this is one that I do think gets overlooked, but quite literally, like, how are you engaging the quality of your relationships? So, do you just like, when you go to work, you're like, hey, and you go and do your stuff and leave? Do you have like a close personal relationship with a significant other or with your family? Are your friends there to just go and drink with? Are they like causing mental unwell-being, right? Or are they like making you mentally healthy?
Right.
That's actually a huge component. Literally, we're social creatures. So how we react, our relationships with other people. Then lastly, there's the category that we call wealth, but it means a lot more than that. It's also like your career, your purpose, but it is the thing you do to make money because you do have to buy food, you have to have a home, you have to have a way to have a source of income.
And if you were in shape and you had good relationships, but you were financially in a burden, that would still cause stress on you. So it really does need to be all three, it sounds like.
It has to be all three. It has to be a balance of those three. So, and you're right. Like the number one cause for divorce that people actually state
Financial,
is financial. So it's right there with cheating on your spouse. Being in a financial burden creates just as much divorce, which is crazy if you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's an area that we have to all like genuinely consider. Okay, so you got these three buckets, right?
Yep.
Then I wanted to see, we're all kind of familiar with lately that there's like cold plunging, there's like infrared sauna, there is seeing a therapist, there is just like an infinite number of things that you can do, right? And I know I have felt this way. I'm like, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
What's the stuff that I do? If you take in the guideline that like you actually cannot do everything, right? You have limited time, money, and energy. What are the main things? So under each one of those categories, health, relationships, and wealth, we picked 3 things that you can do that are completely free. They don't cost you any money. There's nothing extra that you got to do. They're things that you're already doing. It's just like, are you doing them well?
Yeah.
Right? So there's 3 actions, 3 habits underneath each one of those, right? That if you do, will make sure that you are well-rounded, you are moving forward, you're moving ahead. So, okay, that's the 9
habits. Yeah,
that's the 9 habits, exactly. So then I did a lot of digging into, like, what is the time frame for something? And there's a lot of really good research that shows if you set a goal for like 5 years out, in 5 years I want to, be a millionaire, right? It's too far away to like do something on a daily basis about. Also, if you say like, 3 weeks, it's too short to like have like let anything build up or accumulate over time and see results.
Yeah.
There's this magic sweet number, and it doesn't have to be exactly this, but it's just like a good, nice, round place is 3 months, which is exactly 13 weeks, which is exactly 91 days. So 91 days of 9 habits. That is the best scientific literature that we have to say if you did these things, you would be performing in life above and beyond everybody else.
Yeah.
Did I explain that all
Yeah,
enough?
that's great. That's great.
That was a tirade.
It sounds like 9 habits you do daily for 91 days to insurmountably get better mental health. Or
100%.
mental performance specifically.
Mental
to be
performance.
performing at the highest you can mentally.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like all the actions, we'll go into it, but it sounds like all the actions or the habits are the leading indicators, and all the lagging indicators would be better health, better physical health, better relationships, and better off financially.
Yep, 100%.
Those are the 3 that you would get.
Yep.
Got it. And so that's what it is, right? What made you decide that like this was the thing that you wanted to do, that you wanted to create? Because you already had the supplements. So like, what made you decide that the program had to be done with it?
Well, I know that like the thing that always has brought me into stuff is like, let's say there's a company I'll give a good example, right? I'm a big coffee drinker, and there is a coffee company, Black Rifle Coffee Company, that like the owners, they're like conservative, military, give to charity, they give jobs to vets, they like, you can just see the things they do. None of that shit has anything to do with coffee.
Right.
It just, do you know what I mean?
100%.
I don't even know why they picked coffee. And so because of that, I'm like, oh, these guys are for me, right? I like them. I like what they do. I like what they stand for. So I'm gonna buy their product, right? So we had made our product, and we made a good product, and we're selling a ton of it, and it's going really well. But I know that we could reach so many more people if they could see like what we are actually about. like that we are about self-improvement. We're about discipline. We are about how to help people get better and not just doing it to make money, right? It's like, you could like listen to this podcast, or you could like download the information about the program for free. Doesn't cost you anything, and it would fucking
Change your life.
change your life.
Yeah.
Like, I just want people to see like that's what these guys are about. That's what they care about.
Cool.
If you care about that stuff, then you're going to be in the same team with us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool. I like that. No, it's really good. And then I think we, I don't know how much people really know about it already, but how does someone use the actual, because you came out with an app,
Yep.
right? So it's like, to give the backstory, we actually already had this thing created, right? The actual same habits in the same amount of days.
Same stuff.
A year ago almost,
Yeah.
completely. And what we did was we didn't have an app to do it. So it was like, hey, how do we get people to start doing this thing?
Yep.
So we just used this little white label app called Circle. It was really just a Facebook group for
Yeah,
people doing
it was such a weird app, but yeah.
and we expected it to take off, but like there was no actual use case for it. Like you could not do the program using the app. You would
Yeah.
have to get one of these, something like that, and write down and tally off that you did it each week. And we're like walking people through how to like
Yeah.
check off their score for the week and stuff like
Yeah.
that and put it up to Instagram. So now that they know what it is, how can they get started and how can they actually start doing the program? What's the easiest way for someone to start doing that?
So again, the first thing is, I did want to make sure like it could be entirely free for everybody. So like, because it's an app, obviously, like you said, we had it out over a year ago,
Yeah.
right? Well, to make the app, that costs a lot of fucking money to build an app and develop
Newsflash.
it and put it out, all that stuff. So there is a charge for the app, but I didn't want that to keep people out. So like, you can use the program. Again, like I said, you can go to my Instagram, you can go to Modern Warrior website, and you can just check out the program and do it for free. But now what we're offering is, and I don't know if this is a good time to bring it up, I'll just do it now, is if you download the app, there's videos and tutorials about how to do everything. There is a workbook, which, by the way, if you download the app, just literally using that workbook
So nice.
is that right there is worth $1,000. If you worked out that workbook about all these areas and how to improve and setting your goals for each one of these things, like, it's worth so much. But anyway, then there's like a habit tracker, right? So you hit in like which of the habits you got done that day, you share it to your Instagram, all that stuff. So that thing is $10 for the app, like in Google Play or on the Apple Store.
Yep.
If you download it, you can actually win $10,000. So this is our like hit that what we want to do. If you do the 91.9 and you really kick ass at it, so meaning you're going all out in each one of the habits, you share it every single day, you're making changes to your physical health, you're making changes to your relationships, you're making changes to your career, how much money you're making. At the end of 91 days, there's some other like information on the website, but basically you make a video explaining how your life changed.
Yeah.
You turn that into us, and we will pick through, and we will pick a winner so that you'll have changed your life no matter what by using the program. But if you really fucking killed it, I'll also give you $10,000. So now you're in this better place in life, and you got a ton more money, and now you can maybe start your own business with that 10 grand. Maybe you could get your family out of debt. Maybe you could, whatever you're gonna do with it. But I want people to be able to improve their life and see a tangible takeaway from it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's great because a lot of people, you know, maybe they don't want to start something right away. They need some kind of carrot in front of them to
Absolutely.
really get going on it or whatever it is. Or maybe it's just a group of friends that are also doing it that they want to do it too. But also just that little incentive of like, oh shit, I could win $10,000. And that would just be another cherry on top because I already would change my life completely. Yeah, there's like, what's the lose?
No,
Like, there is no
I was
lose.
thinking about it. It's like, if I didn't know about the 91.9, but I saw there was like this cool program that I could win 10 grand doing by just like doing cool habits, I would join.
You would do it.
I would 100% do
100%.
that.
And if we would do it, other people probably do it too.
Absolutely. 100%.
So what makes the 91.9 different than other, you know, let's say a 75 hard or, you know, what's some other programs that are out there right now?
looked-
That's the one that I'm familiar with. But
I looked in the app store and stuff, there are a ton of other habit tracking programs and stuff. Here's what I would say. Most of them that I saw, you kind of are like making up your own habits and stuff, like do whatever diet, you know, like it's just very like loose, I would say.
Like it's just an accountability thing.
Exactly.
For them?
Yeah. As we're, like we said, there's a workbook that you fill out. So you need to set goals, right? Like, hey, I am going to lose 15 pounds of body fat. I'm going to make a healthy relationship with my estranged father. And I am going to work every day at getting this new manager position at my job, right? And then you break down like what are the steps that are actually going to get you there. And the workbook really helps you break that down. So it's not like you're just aiming for something. Like it gives you the actual, like, again, the weight loss one is just the easy one.
Yeah.
So I'll use it. Is like, I'm going to work out exactly like this at this time. And I'm going to eat exactly like this at this time. And I'm going to sleep like this at this time. So when things are specific, we don't get to wish-wash and move around about what things are. And they're the most important things, right? Like these are the number one things that will get you to where you want to be. And then when you're specific about it, you literally can't not lose.
Yeah.
Right? If you know exactly what to do, when you got to do it, and you're being held accountable to getting it done every day, that's just called work. That's literally, that's just discipline. Do you know what I mean? That is the whole thing. So we've really just like systemized and operationalized discipline.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you set goals, then you'll eventually get there. But if you set systems, then you just play the game forever.
Totally.
And then you're set for life.
Then you keep winning,
And then
keep
after
winning.
the 91 days, these are actually just a part of your daily life.
100%.
You don't have to think about checking them off anymore because you've almost reprogrammed your brain.
Oh, this is
into
how I
just
act
doing.
now.
This is just how I am as a human because I feel my best, I perform my best, and it's gotten me good results. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to keep doing it. At the end of the day.
100%.
Yeah, and I don't even think we went into. Let's just break down real quick. I know that they can find this on the website, but you know, health, wealth, relationships. Those are the three categories. What are the actual habits they're doing in each one of those? We can just start with health. Let's start at the beginning.
So the health one, I just kind of said them, but it's like, so your number one is exercise. It's 30 minutes of an exercise that you're writing out every single day, right? So remember, we do not want to actually like burn out. So for me, it is 6 days a week of lifting, and then 1 day a week I hike. That's it. That's like my more recovery day, right? It's my Sunday. But I've got a movement for at least 30 minutes every single day. Because the goal isn't like, oh, I want to get fucking huge. It's like, no, I want to be healthy and I want to improve and I want to get better.
Yep.
Okay, then the second one is nutrition. And you have to hit your goal of protein every day. So again, we worked backwards through all the science. It's like, because it's not just for weight loss or not just for muscle building or not just for like wanting to run a marathon or whatever, but no matter what your athletic performance is,
Protein.
every single one of them, when we did the research, shows that hitting that higher volume of protein is like one of the main components. Because if you do that, if you're eating that much protein, you're probably not eating the other junky food.
You're too full.
You just can't do it.
Yep.
And we're not in protein. It can be vegan sources. If you're a vegan, you can still do this.
Yep.
There's no problem at all. And then the last one is a sleep ritual. So this isn't get 8 hours of sleep. It's have a short process that you do at night at the same time every night that creates good sleeping habits. That's good sleep hygiene that we call. So like for me, I finish my little journal thing at night. It's like 8 o'clock. I hit the sauna. I have a gym that's real close to me. So I hit the sauna there. Then I'm in bed reading a book by 9:30 p.m. So journal, sauna, book, 9:30 p.m.
Yep.
I do that, and like I'm out by 9:45.
Because you're telling your brain, hey, it's time for bed.
I've been reading the same book for fucking 3 months. I get like 8 pages and I'm just fucking out.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the middle one is relationships. Meditation is the first one. Meditation is the one that scares everybody. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, fuck. I don't want to do that.
Oh, that's the weird one. But we actually have made a guided meditation. So it's me. I show you how to do it. I teach you how to do it. Super easy. It's really just about listening to your own thoughts for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, sit in silence, and just get used to it. We're so used to like music playing, a podcast here, a fucking TV show on. We can't ever just sit in silence because that's the relationship with yourself. You talking to you. And you may not realize this, but you are talking to yourself
24/7.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
And when you block it out by just constantly being noise, it's like having a friend who you just don't listen to. If your friend was talking to you right next to you, would you just turn the music up?
Yeah.
No, that'd be fucking weird.
And it's your best friend.
Yeah,
it's you.
It's
You're
literally
stuck
your best
forever.
friend. Okay, the next one is gratitude. Everybody's heard this before. We just take it up a notch that all you have to do is have a phone call or a video message to a person explaining to them what you are grateful for about having them in your life. They don't need to respond. You don't need to have a long conversation. Just literally, Carter, hey, I just want you to know I'm very grateful that we have got to work together for a couple years now and how helpful you have been with everything we've created. It genuinely means the world to me. That took me 8 seconds.
Yeah.
You now know how I feel about you. I feel better having said it. Everything gets better from a little bit of gratitude.
Yeah.
The last one is giving a compliment to a random stranger. If also you're exercising, good place to do this is a gym. Human beings' number one fear is public speaking, is like talking to people you don't know. This is like around the world. So if you start with, hey man, I really like your shoes. Those are cool. The person's gonna turn around and they're gonna go, oh, thank you. That's nice. And you're gonna realize you have made this huge fear in your head
Out of nothing.
out of absolutely nothing. You're gonna feel better, that person's gonna feel better, and you're gonna make a lot. You will not believe how many friends you make that become close friends just because you gave a random compliment.
Yeah, I realize how many people are in the gym that I just don't talk to, but I see them at 8 a.m. every day.
Every day.
It's like, the nod or something like that. And it's like, oh, I have 20 friends in the gym now.
Yeah.
Just because I said I like their shoes.
And
That's really cool.
And they're all cool.
They're all really cool with it.
You have the same habits. You're literally at the gym at 8 a.m. You probably are gonna be good friends.
Good friends.
Okay, so that's relationship. Then we have your wealth. So the very first one is to plan out your day. This is actually way more important than most people think. It's not about just like stacking your day with a bunch of shit to do. It's about saying, I'm in control of my day. The day is not in control of me. This is a huge mental switch for people to make. And I think this is a lot of times the difference between, we always wonder like, oh, what makes like a high power CEO or like, this like world-class athlete, like what makes them like that? And I work at QT. Well, it's like, dude, they got up and they decided like, this is the shit I'm doing. The reason why we don't win a lot of times is because we're just like, we just wait for somebody to tell us what to do.
Yeah, you're just going through the day hoping something happens and something good happens from it.
And if something bad happens, you're like, oh shit, man, that
There's
sucks.
tomorrow.
Yeah, oh, okay. As or if you go and you're like, nope, this is my shit I'm getting done because this is going to move me forward, you are going to start, like every day, you're going to find one thing that you win.
You're more intentional.
More intentional, that's all it is. The second thing is execution. Now, this is very career dependent. So this is in the workbook, and this will really help you figure this out. There is most likely one thing that you do at work that is 80% of the reason why you're there.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I get it. Everybody, you work somewhere and you have like a couple different jobs that you do. Carter, I'm going to use you as an analogy. Carter runs one of our stores. So there is cleanliness, there is store hours, like with employees, there is inventory management, there is new products, there is marketing. There's all of these like things that have to come together to like run a store. But the number one thing is really helping customers when they come in. That's like, if you were to number it off, it's like that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Probably
10.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like a couple of things at the end. If you really were amazing and the best at just helping people, helping the customers when they come in, that is 80% of the reason why you're there, right? So that execute part, you're just making sure you get that one big thing done every day to the absolute best of your ability.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're a car mechanic, you're like, hey, we've got this big job. I'm working on this old pickup truck. We said we're going to get it done in 3 days. I'm going to get that thing done today, and I'm going to make it fucking squeaky clean.
Yeah.
Now you're like the best guy on the job. You're the dude that everybody looks to. You're the most proficient at what you do. Everything else kind of falls in line if you find that number one big thing.
Right.
Okay.
And you should be able to check it off
every day.
every day. It should be a very specific thing, right?
You should be able to check it off every day. And then number 2 would be number 3, I'm sorry, would be educate. So this is the one that's hard a lot of times. I'll admit it is for me too, but it's like, I want to listen to podcasts about the French Revolution. Like I like history.
It's your thing, yeah.
I like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I have to realize that is really, that's entertainment, right? In my world, I'm not a historian.
Right. It wouldn't serve you any good towards your job.
No. I mean, it's great to know. I'm not saying don't go out into the world and learn.
Right.
But I'm saying is if you're going to take 15, 20 minutes a day, get educated about your career. What is the thing that you do? How can you get better at it? Because each new little skill that you learn makes you better at it. Then your skills are how you make money, and you will make more money. You'll become a manager. You'll become a leader. You'll become whatever it is. That is really, really important to think about. That is where your investment is. Like you may invest in stocks, but you need to, with your time, invest in skills. There we go.
Another leading indicator to the lagging, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're in sales and you were talking to people all day, your book that you would be reading or podcast that you'd be listening to would most likely be under communication of some sort to get better at talking to
Sales,
people.
lead
to make
generation,
more
some
money.
closing deals. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so there's the 9.
That's the 9
Nailed
for
it.
91 days.
Yep.
I love it. Anything else?
I think that's it.
I think that's the gist.
All right, guys. So you can download the app. You can check out how to win $10,000 on the website. We're out.
We're out.